Now, the other game I really wanted to ask you about, Shane, I think this is a really intriguing game here, but Mississippi State hosting Kentucky. And, I know you love when I throw these stats out because they're basically meaningless for, the current season. But Mark Stoops and Kentucky, they obviously play Mississippi State every year. Mark Stoops has never
Yeah.
won in Starkville. So take that for what it's worth. That's just another thing they're trying to get over here with this Kentucky football program. But why I think this is an intriguing matchup, Shane, because you think back to a lot of the offenses that Kentucky has faced. And I'm not sitting here trying to say, everybody. I love everybody says, "Well, the hell, they ain't played nobody." I mean, you can't say that about any SEC team, and I'm not sitting here saying that. But what I am saying is, I don't know that Kentucky's really been tested through the air, because you think of the
Yeah.
teams they've played: Georgia, Florida, South Carolina. Teams of this
hmm
nature. Those are teams that are focused more on the running game, whereas Mississippi State, brother, you know what they're going to do. They're going to throw it every damn down that they can, and you just never
Right.
know what you're getting from them. I mean, one week Will Rogers looks unstoppable, and then one week he looks pretty
hmm
average. And if they get the near unstoppable Will Rogers, I mean, they could be getting into a little bit of a buzzsaw here on the road at Mississippi State. So, how do you think Kentucky, which is coming off their first loss of the season, they've had 2 weeks to sit here and think about it. How do you think they respond with this unique challenge they got at Mississippi State this weekend?
Mike, this is a scary game, man. I'm telling you, I want to tie it into Tennessee, but I hate the fact that they're playing Mississippi State before they fight us because this is going to be week to week that they're going to have a similar style offense. The problem is Mississippi State gets them first, and like you said, you catch them off guard when you going against teams like Georgia where you're loading the box, teams like Florida where you're loading the box, and now you're going against a team that does not run
Mm-hmm.
at all, even against Vanderbilt. They're going to throw about 50 times. How are you going to handle that? And I worry about the secondary of Kentucky. For starters, you're coming off a tough loss. Yeah, I mean, you get that far in the season undefeated, you start painting a picture of what postseason is going to look like, and you got hit in the mouth, and how do you bounce back from that? I think that's a factor as well. Mississippi State didn't play a flawless game last week, but they're pretty damn efficient when they needed to be, and so they're hitting on all cylinders coming in. So it's a scary game. It's one I do not want to put money on because I've got burnt. You just threw out that stat. There's a lot of times I put my lock of the week on Kentucky, and a lot of times I never got that money back.
And, I've had this game circled, Shane, from the moment when the line came out. I had thought, like you, I said probably Kentucky by double digits, but Mississippi State
Yeah.
was favored. Now, I do think it's has come down. I think it's a pick 'em, but take that for what it's worth. But whenever you see one of these
hmm
lines that makes you scratch your head, that makes you think that Vegas knows something that we don't. And, maybe they're anticipating the Mississippi State. Remember, this is the team that went on the road and beat Texas A&M. They were the last team to beat Texas A&M, and, M,
hmm
and of course, that includes Alabama. So you just don't know what you're going to get. And they just held Vanderbilt. I know it was Vanderbilt, but what was it? Something like 9 rushing yards. I mean, this is a completely
Right.
different challenge with this Kentucky offense. I think that is the biggest potential worry issue for Mississippi State. Has got to be Kentucky's offensive line in that running game because that's what you need to go on the road winning this league. I don't think you can ask Will Levis to win you the game, although I think he's got the talent to do it. But this is going to come down to me is Mississippi State's ability to stop Kentucky on the ground. And I think the team that wins that matchup, as simple as it is to say, I think they're going to win this football game.
That's it, Mike. I mean, you want to talk about strength on strength? That's this game right here, and whoever wins the trenches is going to win this game, and it's going to. I think it's going to be clock management too.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can keep Mississippi State doing 3 and outs, and you just keep that defense on the field, I mean, they showed you against that Memphis game. Even though I hate having to, they stay out there all day long. They get weak, man. They start letting up those big plays, and I don't want to see Will out here trying to win. We don't need Will to win this game, Mike. We need these running backs. We need this offensive line to win this game. So It's going to be a hell of a matchup. I'm telling you right now, Mike. It's going to be a Morristown Hondo pick when I start getting my score predictions Friday. But it should be a hell of a game for sure.
How much of a factor are the cowbells down there?
I definitely think they're a factor. Yeah. I'm still lobbying for some deal here, get that deal voted in, blow a bunch of air horns or something the whole game. I don't know. I mean, it's a pretty good deal for them.
How do you feel like Will and the line have handled dealing with the crowd? How do you feel like Will and the offensive line have handled the crowd in the way of South Carolina, Georgia, now going Mississippi State?
Well, you could see by watching the games, we've handled it relatively well, considering the hostile environment, considering what we saw people, the way they were affected here in Kroger Field, and the way we've gone on the road. We've handled it relatively well. We need to continue to improve on that. The good things we did in those games we need to build on, and a couple little areas. But overall, not too bad.
Knowing where you're playing, coming off of a bye week, how paramount is it to get back up the game speed this week and get a fast start out there?
It's very important, and it was important to me last week to do that and to not take the foot off the gas with the players, and they were really good. I really appreciate the players, the way they handled the bye week last week, because they understood there was going to be some built-in time off. But the time on the field, whether it be in the meetings or on the practice field, we needed to continue to keep that. And that's I'm always concerned about that. And so we will come back with a normal week. We will go faster today because they're healed up and didn't play the game Saturday. So we'll pick up a little tempo today.
Mike Leach got asked about his favorite Halloween candy over the weekend. Do you have a particular favorite Halloween candy?
I knew that question was coming. I did. You want me to do my best, Mike Leach? There's only one and only Mike, and I won't even try to go there, so I'll just stay away. You could tell by me, I eat any candy.